Okay, I got the CAD model, I think, about done. Sure, I'll probably have to change a few things, but this is it. The gray part's a steel frame, and it's the total dimensions are about 30 inches tall, 15 inches wide, 13 inches deep. Or you can just see the metric measurements up there, unless you're not a metric fan. I know some people aren't. But anyway, this is pretty much, I think, how I'm going to construct it. After this is all built, I will put molds around this and mold some of this in epoxy granite. But just to show you what I'm thinking I'm going to do, this is my plan anyway. I think it'll work. Is right now the press is in about the middle, so and you can see where the dies go in up at the top. They go in from this side. So this would be kind of looking up at it when it's running. They go in, a shell gets loaded in onto the shell plate and it goes up, and that'll be where it deprimes and resizes the case. It'll come back down to the middle, which is about there, and then there's space underneath it, so it'll just come down to prime the shell or clean the primer pocket. Actually, probably what I'll have it do first, and then it'll go up, index the plate, and come back down after it's indexed again and reprime, and then up and process the next shell, and down to clean the primer pocket and load the primer. That's pretty much the plan I got. This little block here, this is actually the index motor that will rotate this orange plate. These are representing each shell holder. These green bars over here, that represents these 25 millimeter slide rails. These are very heavy duty. You can get expensive versions, you can get cheaper versions. These are, I don't know, about $30 or so, so they're still pretty cheap. Of course, you guys saw this yesterday that I made, and it's up in the top here. And it's just gonna set in there. I've decided I'm probably not gonna weld it very much inside this frame, because all this is gonna get cast with epoxy granite, and I have to get this parallel with this plate, and these two rails have to be parallel with the ball screw, which is in the center. This, by the way, is the ball screw. The only issue that I ran into that I kind of had to work on, and I don't have a great view of it because I have to turn on the X-ray, but if you look inside the shell holder, there's actually a thrust washer in the bottom of it that this shell plate sets on. So this will keep, when it goes up, it'll keep stress coming down on this. So when it has to index and rotate this upper plate, it'll actually rotate on this thrust washer. And then there's another thrust washer on top of the shell plate, so it will take the stress, the up and down stress off of that, because the shell plate can be pushed down when it's on the upstroke, and it can be lifted up when it's on the downstroke. So I had to put thrust washers in to take care of that. And then the whole thing spins inside a needle bearing, and I found all that stuff on eBay. It's actually pretty cheap, so I'll put a parts list up, what I ordered, and shouldn't be too hard for you guys to find. But that's basically it. All this down here is just open space. The big stepper motor, which is that one over there, that's going to drive the press up and down, and this is a molding block, so this won't actually be in there. The stepper motor will bolt up on the bottom of this, right down here, and then there will be a coupler that goes in here. I have a whole bunch of them. I honestly don't know how much they are, but I have a bunch already, so I don't have to buy that. But that will couple the motor to the ball screw shaft, and I can move it up and down with some pretty extreme precision. And this, I guess, shell carrier, because it's not really the plate, but this purplish looking part here, there's going to be a lot of screw holes around the perimeter of this, so I can bolt things to it, like primer feeders, indexers. There will be infrared sensors all the way around this thing to tell if there's a shell in each station, which station's empty, if a station got skipped on purpose or if it got skipped on accident, if it needs to stop for an error, stuff like that. The powder dump, bullets, the dies will go up here, but the powder dump will be up here, but the bullet feeder will actually be one of those attachments that I was talking about screwing into the bottom of this, and it'll just swing over, set a bullet on the case, and then swing back out of the way so that it can go up and seat the bullet. There you go, guys. We'll get further along with this. Hopefully, maybe next weekend. I might actually go out if I get bored and cut all the tubing, which I already have a bunch of 1¼ inch square tubing, so I don't have to buy that either. But I may cut the tubing tomorrow and just kind of start tacking this together. And I think once the frame's tacked together and I start doing some epoxy casting, it'll come together really quick, and it'll, you know, if what I'm explaining is not really making sense, it'll make complete sense when I get to that point. Anyway, till next time.